Alright, so this is Maccadelic. Shout out Vengeance. I'm about to tell this guy a crazy story. I grew up in Pickering. It's like a little white boy town in Durham. and yeah, and then I just moved around Durham basically my whole life. Just when I got to like, I don't know, fucking 17-ish, 18. Started moving around. Yeah. I started shooting music videos in 2017. My first video was actually the 456 music video. Burna and Houdini and Tala. And yeah, it was weird. I was like thrown to the wolves with that one, bro. It started in actually high school. I loved like movies. I was a huge movie guy. And in high school, they had a class. It was a fucking yearbook class. So I was in the yearbook committee. But you had like a videography and a photography course. So you had to go like take photos of like a hockey team and get like a video of like the school hockey team, stuff like that. So I did that. And yeah, I just started like fucking with videography and shit. Yeah. When I'm creating a music video, I'll listen to the song first and kind of get a vibe of what they're going with. Say it's like a grungy rap song or like an R&B track or something. And then you can kind of go from there with the editing style. And then usually the locations is like huge. Picking the locations is big. If we're going to use like a set, if we're going to like do it outside somewhere. But that stuff is huge. So then from there, you can kind of get the vibe of it and like what colors you're going to get. A lot of it is the artist, how they are like on camera. You know what I mean? If it's like a guy like fucking, for example, like a Janie who dances and stuff, you know what I mean? It's easier to work with a guy like that, right? So when you know going into like a music video, you have to like work with the way the artist is. So it can be tricky, but yeah. Then the biggest thing is just like once we shoot and we have like all the like foundations done, right? We picked the location, we have the editing style down, we have the shot selections down, all that stuff. It's just a matter of making them happy with how they look. And yeah. Oh shit. Oxymoron by Schoolboy Q. Channel Orange by Frank Ocean. And what's the last one? Whole Lot of Red by Playboy. No, I'm just kidding. Fuck. What's the last one? I'd say Graduation, because I have that shit tattooed on me. And Graduation's like fucking hit home to me. Like big artists? Yeah. I worked with OGZ. I worked with Polo G. I've worked with Tony Yayo. I worked with DJ Smokey and like the ASAP Mob. But then like if you're talking about like Toronto rappers, I've worked with like Robin Banks. It's my boy, obviously everybody knows that. Houdini, R.I.P. Burna Bands. We just shot a video the other day. Biz Loke. Fuck, the list goes on, bro. I've worked with everybody. Basically, in Toronto, like, I've worked with fucking everybody at this point. Yeah. There's a few guys that I haven't worked with, but yeah. Fuck, that's a good question, man. My favorite video, I don't think it's come out yet. Like, I feel like, you know? But, like, my most, like, memorable one that, like, hits home to me has got to be the 456 video or YS's video, John Wick. Yeah. Oh, those guys are the best. Yeah, those guys are sick. Yeah. I started working with them when I was like relatively new, right? So I have a whole different respect for those guys, right? Because they helped me get to where I am today, right? And like, I don't know. Those guys are just sick, man. They're just cool. Like, I'm just like, you know, like I'm just with them. It doesn't feel weird. Like, and like I fuck with everybody too, right? So it's just like those guys are just like special, I feel. Bro, that was like a high, bro. I felt like I was on drugs. Like I was on some speed or something, bro. Cause like I was like, so this is the thing. Like I had a blog, right? And the blog was called Basement Worldwide, and we were doing like really good like online interviews. So we had like Kanye West, engineer Mike Dean, we had Quavo. So we had this online presence, right? And our biggest thing was on Twitter. We were fucking huge on Twitter. So then we're from Toronto, let's try and, it was hard to travel. I was so young. I was just like scared. I was honestly scared to travel, bro. Like I was like, young and a lot of anxiety and money involved. So, excuse me. I started working with Toronto rappers, and then I had like an in with Robin. I started like working in Jane and Finch. Somehow we crossed paths. I forget. I think it was like, honestly forget, but like we crossed paths. I met his manager at the time, and then he was like, "Yo, my team just came out, right? So they're planning the second video, but the audio was already out, right? It was on Spotify and everything, right? So I was bumping to my car, and I was like, this track is fucking crazy." And then they were like, "Yo, do you want to shoot it?" And like I was so inexperienced with like directing, and like I was good with cameras, but I wasn't good with like editing at that time, right? So I was like, "Yo, I have all this anxiety." So I called David Del Rosario. So then he was already like doing like big videos. I think he did like Come Outside and like some other fucking whatever. But so it just worked out, you know what I mean? So we met up, he brought his camera, we shot, like he would give me the camera, I'd shoot a scene. Then like we'd go over to one spot and be like, "Yo, let's go shoot over here." He'd shoot a scene, then I'd shoot a scene, you know what I mean? We bounced the camera back and forth, did the drone shots. And yeah, and then he edited it, and we were like kind of bouncing ideas back and forth with the edits and the shot selection. Like I wanted certain shots in it and shit. And yeah, bro. And then it just fucking, from there, it was just like, once I did the first one, because it was so fucking viral, bro. Like it was like, I don't know if it was trending on YouTube, but it was fucking big, bro. Like it was so big that like I was hearing it on the streets. Like I'd be driving in my car and someone would be bumping and I'm like, "Yo, I shot that." Like it was weird, right? So like, but yeah, bro. And then I was like hooked on videos after, bro. Like I was hooked. Like I was like, "Yo, I want to shoot another one. I want to shoot another one." And then I ended up doing like a bunch of other big ones. But that one was like the most viral for sure. Basically, yo, it's just me curious about the people I work with. That's basically the best way to put it. All the people that I interview are people that I already have a relationship with. So we already talk, and you know what I mean? I already know their personality a little bit. And I just ask them about life, bro. Like I try to keep them fun. You know what I mean? I fuck around with them a little bit. I'll ask them fucking dumb questions or try and get them a little embarrassed, get them blushing. You know what I mean? Just try to fuck around with them a little bit. But yeah, man, it's just fun. I just want these guys out. There's some of these podcasts, there's a lot of fucking serious, man. Especially when these guys are from the streets and they're dealing with fucking hard life, man. Like all the shit that they come from, you know what I mean? So it's just like, try to give them like a fun experience, fuck around and we have some drinks and smoke and just vibe out, bro. And whatever happens, 2023, I'm basically, so the podcast, like I started that in January. We're going hard with that all year. Expect a new podcast from me almost every week to every 2 weeks. And I'm going to be having like good conversations on there, So if you want to get some shit that you don't hear on regular podcasts, you know what I mean? Fuck, man. On my last podcast, I asked Cam, I was like, "Yo, what's your favorite drug to do?" And he was like, "What the fuck, bro?" Like, just got to put them in a weird spot for a second, and just to see what their life, what their life's like on the outside, And yeah, bro, so I'm doing that. Obviously, I'll always be a video director, man. That's my passion. But I'm trying to branch out and do different shit, right? So I have another big project coming up. I can't really talk about that yet. But you guys will see that one because that's going to be like kind of big. Like it'll be like way outside of the Toronto rap scene. And then I'm trying to do more writing too, man. I'm inspired by all the stories that I've like come across over the years. You know what I mean? So I talk to these guys, like every now and then I get a jail call, man. And like these guys tell me their stories, bro. And I'm like, fuck, bro. These guys need like they need to be heard. Like this is like good shit. Obviously the stuff that not gonna hurt, like get anybody in trouble, right? But like some of these stories, man, are like good quality stories, bro. Like that people want to hear. So it just depends on like, cracking the eggshell and just kind of like, I don't know, fucking. Maybe it takes a couple shots of tequila to get them to fucking open up. Oh, yeah. I see this year, man, I'm going to be traveling a lot, working with a lot of American artists. I already have a couple things lined up with, like, OGZ, a couple of, other LA artists, a couple guys in New York. It's just a matter of going there, bro. So it's just, I'm like, I hate saying this shit because it's like, a personal thing, but I'm unvaxxed, right? So the COVID thing, like, fucking fucked up traveling, man. Like I was getting, bro, I had an opportunity to go to a Kanye West Donda listening session and I couldn't go because I wasn't vaxxed and I couldn't get on a plane. So like, it's just, yeah, man. I feel like this year with it opening up a little bit, you can travel in Canada pretty good. Well, I've already been doing that. I just went to Vancouver, you know, I went to Montreal and a couple places around Canada, but the States is where it is, bro. And I feel like that's the next step for this year. So yeah, this is Maccadelic. Shut Up Vengeance. It was a dope interview. And I got some more shit coming for you guys. So yeah, thanks.